It's absolutely brilliant, Ruth, because we have potentially five, we're just securing the last one, 4 title fights. Young Jamie Conlon, apart from Carl, and we know what I've said many times about him, he's one of the best kids in the world at the moment. In any weight division, he's got that type of style, and he really is so exciting to watch. But young Jamie Conlon's a real talent, and the super flyweight division is red hot domestically and on the world scene. And he really has a chance of going all the way if his career is handled properly and opportunities arise. And this is an opportunity, and he's got a tough fight. Underneath that, we've got Eamon O'Kane against Kerry Hope in a Celtic title fight. That's a 50-50 fight. Terrific scrap. And then underneath that, probably the fight of the night potentially is Willie Casey against Mark McCullough. And that's a 10-round fight for the Irish title, and it might even be for the WBO European title as well. So it's great opportunities for these kids. We've got Ryan Burnett, we've got Daniel McShane, we've got James Tennyson, we've got young Philip Sutler from down south, who is a tremendous talent and a tremendous puncher. So we want to give the Belfast fans, wall-to-wall action and as many title fights as possible, and that's what we got on October the 19th. It is one of the best bills that we've had, and I think the difference is when Carl fights in the past, we've had a good main event, and maybe the joint main event or the one underneath has been good and the rest has not been good. This is just wall-to-wall action, tremendous fights, 50-50 fights the whole way through the bill, and that's what we want, that's what we promise, and we want to deliver that. We might not be able to do it all the time, but we've certainly done it for October the 19th.
And BoxNation on board now. How excited are you for this first BoxNation debut, really?
Well, BoxNation are thrilled to bits because they're going to open the door early. They're going to record some of the shows. They won't have 6 hours of live action, but they're going to have 4 or 5, and the other kids are going to record. And I've said, look, we've got potential superstars here. Come and watch them, come and film them, and make your own mind up. And they're very excited about it. So we're thrilled about everything so far, and fingers crossed that everything stays on the straight and narrow, and that we sort of sail into October 19th with an absolutely jam-packed, action-packed bill.
Now, the last time we spoke to you, we weren't sure who was going to win the mandatory fight. Kiko is up there. There's a lot of talk. Do you want Kiko again?
Well, I spoke to his manager, the manager of Maravilla Boxing, Samson Lekovic, and I've said, look, he said we would love to come back to Belfast. He's really irked by that defeat. He wants to set the record straight, and we are delighted that has been the response. And Jeffrey Matabula, who has every likelihood to beat Martinez, we've spoken to his people, and Branko Milankovic, who looks after him, said we would be delighted to come to Belfast. We know it's a fight city, and we would be delighted to come there. And I said, look, this is really atmospheric, and obviously we have to pay the right type of money to them. So I think, Ruth, there's going to be a balance of getting the right sort of money for the guys, and just hoping, keeping our fingers crossed that we can get that in our next fight.
How vital is it to keep Carl focused on this fight against Jeremy Paradis, because this is probably the most at stake, after this fight with that round the corner. How different do you have to approach this to keep it on this fight?
It's all about the fighter. I mean, we can talk and we can pontificate as long as we want, but if the kid can't fight and he can't do it, then you're in trouble. The difference is Frampton is an ace kid. He is world class, and he can fight going back, going forward. He'll close people down, and he's got to close this guy down and just break open that peekaboo style that he's got. But we've been working really hard on that with sparring partners, and although Carl is excited about a potential world title fight, he hasn't taken his eyes off October the 19th, because he knows if he doesn't get over that, nothing in the future will happen.
And just finally, what are you expecting from the crowd this time, if last time was good?
I'm expecting, people from all over town and from outside of the town. We know that 40% from the Odyssey's ticket sales and their records, 40% of the fans last time were people who had a casual interest in boxing, people who weren't boxing aficionados, and there are so many boxing aficionados in Belfast. That's got bigger again, so people outside of boxing, that's always given me the belief that this kid can be a crossover star. Absolutely convinced of that, and I know the crowds will be singing on October the 19th, and it will be absolutely the most atmospheric arena in the world.